Most nights, it doesn't hit you while you're busy. It hits you when everything goes quiet. You're lying in bed. The lights are off. Your phone is still glowing in your hand. You see someone your age who just bought an apartment, someone who launched a startup, someone who posted their investment portfolio like it's a progress badge. And then the thought appears, I should be further than this. You're not broke. You're paying your bills. You're functioning. But somehow, it feels like everyone else started running before you even found your shoes. And the worst part isn't the money. It's the quiet shame. Here's something that might feel strange at first. You're probably not behind financially. You're comparing timelines that were never designed to be compared. Most people assume being behind is about income, or savings, or investments, or how early you started. But that's not where the pressure actually comes from. It comes from exposure. For most of human history, you didn't know what your neighbor earned. You didn't know your cousin's retirement balance. You didn't see your classmate's new car the second they signed the lease. Now you do. Every promotion is public. Every milestone is curated. Every win is announced. And you're comparing your full financial reality, including doubts, debt, and stress, to someone else's highlight reel. That's not weakness. That's being human in a hyper-visible world. There's another layer people don't talk about. The starting lines aren't equal. Some graduate debt-free. Some have family support. Some can take risks because they have a safety net behind them. Others are helping their parents, paying off loans, supporting siblings, working jobs they don't love because stability matters more than passion right now. If you're building from scratch, your timeline will look different. Not worse, different. And different doesn't mean behind, but even if two people start from the same place, they won't move at the same speed. Because money isn't just math, it's psychology. Imagine two people earning the same salary. One feels secure, the other feels constantly on edge. The numbers are identical, the experience is not. Why? Because financial progress isn't just about income, it's about safety. If you grew up watching your parents stress about bills, your nervous system might still treat money as a threat, even when you're objectively stable. So you save aggressively, or you avoid looking at your accounts, or you hesitate to invest because loss feels unbearable. From the outside, it might look like you're slow. From the inside, you're protecting yourself. That's not failure, that's wiring. There's also the time distortion effect. When you're in your 20s or early 30s, 5 years feels enormous. You see someone who started investing at 19. Now they're ahead. Their portfolio looks impressive. But zoom out. In a 40-year investing timeline, 5 years is small. Compound interest doesn't punish you for not starting at 18. It rewards consistency once you do start. The bigger variable isn't the exact starting age, it's behavior. Do you panic during downturns? Do you quit halfway? Do you take reckless risks because you feel late? Feeling behind often pushes people into decisions that actually set them back. Urgency is expensive. Calm is profitable. And then there's lifestyle inflation. It doesn't look dramatic. You get a raise, your rent increases, you upgrade your phone, you eat out more because you're tired. Nothing extreme, but your income rises and your breathing room stays the same. Now you're comparing yourself to someone saving 40% of their income. But maybe they live with roommates. Maybe they have no debt. Maybe their city is cheaper. Context matters, always. One of the most damaging myths about money is that progress should be linear and visible. In reality, it's uneven. There are years where you build quietly, years where you stabilize, years where you recover from a mistake, years where you prioritize health or family over net worth. That doesn't show up in flashy charts, but it matters. You're not a spreadsheet. You're a person navigating an economy that has changed dramatically. Housing costs rose faster than wages in many places. Education became more expensive. Career paths became less predictable. If it feels harder to get ahead than it was for your parents, that's not laziness. That's structural reality. And acknowledging that removes shame. Now, here's the shift: being behind assumes there's a universal schedule. Graduate by this age, earn this much by that age, buy property before 30, have a certain number invested by 35. But who decided that? Averages aren't deadlines. The real question isn't, am I ahead of others? It's, am I more stable than I used to be? Are you less reactive than 2 years ago? Do you understand your spending better? Have you reduced even one source of financial stress? That's progress. Maybe your emergency fund isn't huge, but maybe you went from 0 to 1 month of expenses saved. That first month is psychologically massive. You're no longer one small mistake away from panic, and that changes how you experience everyday life. The same goes for investing. The first year you invest consistently, even small amounts, something shifts. You stop saying, I should invest. You start saying, I'm someone who invests. Identity compounds. Once you see yourself as someone deliberate with money, your decisions begin aligning with that identity. Not perfectly, but steadily. Let's make this concrete. In one scenario, you rush to buy property because everyone else seems to be doing it. You stretch your budget. You feel tight every month. One unexpected expense would shake everything. From the outside, you look ahead. In another scenario, you rent longer. You build liquidity. You invest steadily. You wait until payments feel manageable. From the outside, you look behind. But which one is actually more secure? Visible milestones don't equal internal stability. And internal stability creates options. Options are freedom. Freedom to leave a job that drains you. Freedom to take a calculated risk. Freedom to say no. If you're building toward that, even slowly, you're not behind. You're building a foundation. Foundations aren't glamorous, they're quiet, and everything depends on them. So what do you actually do with this? First, narrow your comparison window. Your brain isn't built to process thousands of other people's financial milestones every week. Reduce exposure, not because ambition is bad, but because constant comparison distorts perception. Second, define stability for yourself. What does okay look like in your life? 3 months of expenses saved, being debt-free, investing consistently? Pick a few metrics that actually matter to your reality. Track those. Ignore the noise. If you're early in your career, skill growth may matter more than squeezing out an extra % of investment returns. If you're paying off high-interest debt, that's mathematically powerful progress, even if it doesn't look impressive online. If you're starting later than you hoped, consistency will matter more than intensity. Steady beats extreme. And maybe the most important shift of all, separate self-worth from net worth. Income is influenced by geography, timing, industry, opportunity. It's not a moral scorecard. You can be intelligent and still make financial mistakes. You can be disciplined and still experience setbacks. The difference isn't perfection, it's recovery. If you made mistakes 3 years ago but stabilized today, that's movement forward, even if the number in your account isn't where you imagine. If you feel behind right now, pause. Not to push harder, not to panic, just pause. Look at where you were 5 years ago. Maybe you earn more. Maybe you understand investing now. Maybe you're less impulsive. Maybe you simply survived a difficult period. That counts. Progress doesn't always look like acceleration. Sometimes it looks like stability. Fewer emergencies, less dread when opening your banking app. More clarity. You don't need to be ahead of everyone. You just need to be slightly ahead of your past self. You're not behind financially. You're in the middle of your timeline. and timelines only make sense in hindsight. For now, build calm. Calm leads to better decisions. Better decisions compound. Compounding is patient, so be patient with yourself. Not passive, not careless. Patient, because steady progress, even when it feels slow, is still progress, and that's enough.